today we're talking to you about ideas, about phantom ideas. But I dare to say to you, every idea that adds value will make a difference. And every idea that does add value, indeed, rule the world. You know about noodles? Noodles? Noodles was providing an alternative to people. An alternative that was affordable, an alternative that was fast. So for those people coming back from work tired, they could make a very quick meal and they could have it hot and tasty. Potable water for a lot of people may be a challenge, especially people in rural areas. Perhaps when you find the commonly known sachet water, which usually in this palace is called the pure water. Now imagine if you were the one that produced the first noodle. Imagine if you were the one that produced the first sachet water. I guess you'll be smiling to the bank now. So don't be afraid thinking differently. Don't be afraid looking for solutions. Don't be afraid thinking outside the box. At age 20, I went to the prison for the very first time during my youth service days. And I saw prisoners. I spoke with them. I saw people who were in the police detention facilities. In the course of my research, I was curious. But then I started identifying problems that they were going through. And I felt I need to do something about this. And then I began to look at ways that should make a difference. So I will challenge you this moment. Is there any problem that you're looking at that gets you so concerned? Any problem that gets you so worked up? Actually, you should be thinking of how you need to do something about it. So I want to encourage you to really think about ideas that can add values, ideas that can provide solutions to those problems. You know, when you talk about thinking outside the box, a lot of people are afraid to take the first step. Do you know one thing? If others have thought about those things, they probably will start those business before you. There is no business on the face of the earth that did not start with an idea in the head of somebody. So people are talking about, we don't have jobs. And here I'm encouraging people to begin to identify the problems and identify the solutions to those problems. Therein lie your employment. Therein lie your employment. But don't ask, do I have all that it takes to take the first step? That's really the challenge. Many times people say they don't have enough money. They don't have enough staff. Do you know really that you can most often not have all that you require to start a business venture? But start. When I started the organization PRAWA, which is Prisoners Rehabilitation and Welfare Action, at age 24, remember, I got interested at age 20. In between that period, I began to try to know more, learn more, research more, create time for myself to volunteer. There must be someone trying to do something around the issues that you have been thinking of. Maybe the kind of approach you are looking at, that's the kind of things that you may want to look at. But the key question is, do something. Don't wait. Thinking through those questions, you ask yourself, what do I have in my hands? Do you know there is no human being on the face of the earth that do not have something in your hand? What are your skills? What are the things you're able to do? What are the kind of things that people tell you you know how to do it? What are the kind of contacts? Who are your contacts? What kinds of experiences have you had in life? Because these are the things that actually prepare you for really making the great difference. When I started, I had absolutely no money. When I started, I had no office. When I started, I had no staff. So I had to start from home. Those who know Lagos very well will know where it's called a butemeta. So if you know you live in a butemeta, you can understand what I mean. So nothing should be a hindrance. Nothing. You must tell yourself that you are there to add value. As the youngest in a family of 5, I knew that if I need to be brought to the table, I must show that that which I will say when I'm at the table must be something that is of value. And I started learning that right from when I was young. So that began to color my thoughts. So it then tells me that if I need to be brought to the table, if I need to be invited, I need to let people know that there is something I have that they don't have. So check that which you do have and celebrate it. Let people know that you can make a difference. And I think therein lies the secret of our employability. Therein lies the secret of our employability. If indeed we can all begin to look at the problems that we have and begin to ask ourselves, how can I make the difference? Because oftentimes people externalize the solution. You always see the problem around you, but you want another person to be the one to solve that problem. Or you can complain there are not enough roads. There are no quality roads. You can complain about the quality of education. You can complain about the quality of governance. You can cry from now to the end. You can complain about the quality of service delivery. You can say anything you want to say, but I want to challenge you today to really look within yourself and decide to be that real change, to be that transformative change, to be that solution bringer, to be that one that makes a difference. And you ask, this difference I'm making, is it what people will pay for? Can people pay for that difference? I believe that this is really how we can transform the society. I have a vision of how can we create 1,000 companies that will be driven by young people. In a year, annually, 1,000 companies. These companies should be driven by young people who understand the value of industry, who are ready to work. This should be driven by young people who can connect with the power of technology. This will be driven by people who know that innovation is important. Okay, if we can't do 1,000, perhaps we can do 500. Perhaps we can do 100. But indeed, let's begin to look at circles of development. What is it that you have in your hand? Don't feel that because you're a woman, you can't do it. Don't feel that because you're young, you can't do it. Don't feel that because of any kind of thing that you will see as a disability, you can't do it. If I did, perhaps, the things that I had told you about starting an organization, I wouldn't have done that. So I tell you today, I can look back and I can say, indeed, it's important to take the first step. Today, we're talking about phantom ideas. We're talking about ideas that are driven by solution. You must have in your heart a thirst for solution. Do you know that with the mirage of problems around us, we are sitting on a gold mine? A gold mine waiting to be tapped. Waiting to be tapped by the young. Waiting to be tapped by the vibrant. And that's also why we must, even as young people here, and indeed we must, as even women, decide that if there need to be a change in governance, that change must be you. That change must mean that you yourself must come, show the people what it is that they need to do to govern right. So I have decided also to step forth my feet in politics. And they say, why are you doing this? Can you survive it? I said, yes. So also, it's yes for you. So I want to encourage us all not to wait any longer. Let me try to conclude from where I actually started. I talked about ideas ruling the world, but do you know that it is the idea that its time has come? There is nothing as powerful as such idea. Can and you make your idea ready to be launched out to the world. The world is waiting for you. Your community is indeed waiting for you. Your family is indeed waiting for you. Your country, the great country, Nigeria, is indeed waiting for you. The continent of Africa is indeed waiting for you. Don't wait for somebody else to be the solution harbinger. You are the solution. Thank you.